Welcome, newcomers, to the tradition of Festivus. It begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about them right now. Happy Festivus, everyone. Sir Owen Disney here, and we're going to talk about Raw. I got some issues, and we're going to talk about them. First off, yesterday I recapped NXT, which I very much enjoy, and I had to get through SmackDown in order to do that. But here's my thing. Okay, Raw is becoming a chore. Like, a literal chore. I mean, it's 3 hours long. Number one, it's way too long. Number two, way too much meaningless segments. Number three, way too many elongated squash matches. And number four, way too much no direction on the show. Now, I have a glass of water so I can get through this, but let's talk about the show, shall we? Obviously, you should know, given the fact that it says the holidays, the last two editions of Raw are going to be kind of throwaway shows. Well, not exactly. There were a few things that were of worth on this show, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. The show started out with Ho Ho Hogan coming to the ring. Yeah, it's Hulk Hogan in a Santa suit. And he says, "Ho ho ho, brother." You knew it was going to happen, of course. He gets the crowd not to chant Hogan, but Ho Ho Hogan, and of course he runs down the matches for the night. We have Roman Reigns gets the big show because why not give it away on free television? Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose, again, this time in a Miracle on 34th Street fight, and we have him stopped. Because John Cena comes out, and a couple of fans are trying to get a We Want Lesnar chant started. Given the fact we're in Minneapolis, and obviously everyone knows that Hulk Hogan has roots in Minneapolis, going back to his days in the AWA, Minneapolis, of course, is the home of Brock Lesnar, and he's not here tonight. Because WWE logic. So, John Cena, for some reason, sings Let It Go. Yeah, I thought everything in the world had frozen in it, except for wrestling. Well, now wrestling does. Cena wants Seth Rollins tonight. So Rollins comes out with J&J, and he says, basically, you like to say your time is up and my time is now. I'm going to turn that around on you. I'm the future. If you want to last, you'll have to accept that. The Authority should be the ones in charge tonight, not Hulk Hogan. Triple H and Stephanie deserve to be talking about the great things that they did for this company in 2014 and not sitting at home. And when it's all said and done, John Cena basically says that he has no intention of bringing the Authority back, even though, apparently, according to Seth Rollins, the whole company's in the toilet. I can't disagree with that. And they had Sting's help at Survivor Series. I'm telling you, they're really building towards this Seth Rollins-Sting match. I don't know if you guys are picking it up on it, but I certainly am, and I think that actually it might happen, because I know the end game here is Sting and Triple H at WrestleMania 31, and I don't have a problem with that. But I do think Seth Rollins ends up facing Sting down the line, but what do you do with it? Some sort of a schmoz match at, like, Fastlane, possibly we can do that, because the road to WrestleMania. Maybe not at the Rumble. You can't do it at the Rumble because I don't have time to start promoting it. And of course, right on Get on Camera, I have to get something in my eye. So Hulk Hogan basically makes Seth Rollins face John Cena at the opening of the show. So that's how we open the show. John Cena versus Seth Rollins, and in a match that, after the match is over, pretty much a lot of the crowd could go home if they wanted to. Because we're getting the main event first. So we come back from commercial break. Cena ducks the clothesline. Shoulder tackle, and he goes for a crossbody. Rollins ducks, and Cena goes to the floor. Seth hits the tope, tosses him in. Springboard knee strike, which is misses, and he goes for the proto bomb. Rollins floats over, lands on his feet, and rolls up Cena 1-2, and Cena kicks out. So he hits the Avada Kedavra, which is the killing kick in this case, and he gets a 2 off of that. He goes for the turnbuckle powerbomb. It gets countered. Goes for the AA. Rollins lands on his feet. And he goes for a spinning back kick. Connects. Skywalker counters. Proto bomb. Goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle. But of course, Back kick is countered, and he grabs the foot, brings him to his feet because you don't powerbomb Billy Kidman, and you don't utilize the ropes to try to pull Seth Rollins to his feet, because what happens is he nails you with an enziguri kick, cover Cena 1-2, and a kick out. So a charging forearm in the corner, and Cena pops him up, hits a sit-out powerbomb, 1-2, Rollins kicks out. So they trade punches. He ducks the protobomb. He ducks the right hand, protobomb, 5-knuckle shuffle connects. AA and J&J on the ring apron. Cena charges them. They drop off the apron, and Rollins charges in. Cena backdrop over the top rope onto J&J. Same spot they did with Dolph Ziggler on SmackDown that I talked about yesterday. And he tosses him in, goes up top, leg drop to the back of the head, connects 1-2, and Rollins kicks out. Puts him on the buckle, and he climbs up. Rollins clubs away, going for the sunset powerbomb. And, of course, he goes for the sunset buckle bomb instead. 1-2, Cena kicks out at 3. So he readies for the curb stomp, comes out of the corner. Cena picks the ankle, goes for the STF. Rollins gets to the rope. Cena grabs his foot, drags him to the middle of the ring, goes for it again. This time he hits the AA. Counters Cena with a clothesline to Jamie Noble, sending him into Joey Mercury in the corner. Stack AA on J&J Security, you know, the same thing he did before, and the same thing that Eric Young did with the Spicoli driver on TNA. So, at this point, when all the schmoz is going down, Rollins grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase, he swings at Cena, Cena ducks it, AA on Rollins, 1-2-3, Cena wins clean as a sheet. Okay, this match was good, but I'll state one thing right away that I have a complete issue with. If you're going to build Seth Rollins and you have him as, quite possibly, without a doubt, the MVP of 2014 in WWE. Him and Dolph Ziggler kind of like neck and neck when it comes down to it. But Rollins especially, I would say, with the Shield breaking up, him winning Money in the Bank, and him getting a prominent spot in the main event picture, yeah, I'd say it's pretty much the year of Seth Rollins. And I think 2015 will be the year of Dolph Ziggler. But I've said that before and I've been wrong, but I've also said that before and been right. Now, basically what we've got here is you have a red-hot heel, and what happens? You put Cena over clean as a sheet. Okay. Cena fights adversity and overcomes the odds and still wins anyway. Rollins should have had at least one pinfall win over Cena. I totally get it. 100% I understand. You're trying to build John Cena as a credible challenger to Brock Lesnar. Number one, building Cena's credibility is a laughable thing. And number two, when it comes down to it, even though Cena has not been able to beat Lesnar, or the new improved Beast Lesnar, Cena obviously is playing the underdog in the situation. I get that completely. You have to build his credibility up in the normal underdog way. It's John Cena. You don't have to build up anything. John Cena is John Cena, and that's what John Cena will always be. And he's going to have to get victories in order to prove that he can go after Brock Lesnar and this time win the big one. Well, obviously we have to suspend disbelief that John Cena is not Superman in this case, because apparently Brock Lesnar has the kryptonite. So, or I guess Brock Lesnar would be Doomsday in this case, if you want to go in that direction. But yeah, the match was good, but I don't understand what it does for either man. I mean, Cena didn't need the win. I guess he kind of needed the win. Rollins needed the win a whole lot more. And when he won the steel cage match on Raw last week, he should have won by pinfall. He won by cage escape. And J&J helping cage escape. So, yeah, he still hasn't had a decisive pinfall win over Cena. And it's not like Cena can't handle a loss at this point. Give me John Cena losing by pinfall to Seth Rollins on the last Raw of 2014. It probably won't happen, but it's something I would like to see. Like I said, it's one of my Festivus miracles in this case. For some reason, we get a segment that lasts like a split second. Kane is shown and he says, "Bah humbug." Yeah, I'd say bah humbug too, and I probably wouldn't like Christmas if I had to dress like a Christmas tree for Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett in USWA back in the day. Makes perfect sense to me. About 15 people in the watch this video may get that. Fandango in action against Jack Swagger. I saw this match and immediately I'm thinking, okay, you put Fandango in the ring with Roman Reigns last week, you had him have a competitive match. It wasn't a squash or anything, he actually got a lot of offense. So you put him against Swagger this week. Okay, sure. So Swagger goes for the Swagger bomb and it's stopped when Fandango gets the foot up, and of course that ends up getting countered. Swagger ends up getting high-kicked while he's on the ring apron, and he hits 2 of them. The perfect 10 leg drop connects 1, 2, 3. So, Fandango wins, which I have no issues with. Number 2, my problem with this match is you got to give Fandango a new finish. Ask anyone who's been using the leg drop for a long time, it's going to take its toll on your body. Especially ask Bobby Eaton. He knows all about the leg drop off the top rope. It was his finish for so many years. And obviously Bobby Eaton's body has never been the same since he started using it as a finisher. And Hogan's body was not the same. He just used it off the ropes. So yes, I implore you to give Fandango a new finisher. You could utilize the Falcon Arrow, which he was using as a signature move for quite a while. I saw him using the Orange Crush for a bit, but I can't see him hitting the Orange Crush on everyone, and in essence, I really can't see him hitting the Falcon Arrow on someone. You gotta get a finisher that is, or at least a signature move, or a secondary finisher that is able to be done to everyone. The leg drop off the top's fine, but I wouldn't use it as much, obviously, just to prolong Fandango's in-ring career. But yeah, that's always that. So Dolph Ziggler's in the back, and he says he's going to steal the show again for the fans. He says it's too bad that he's too good. Of course, we're setting up for a rematch because Luke Harper invoked his rematch clause, so we get Harper Ziggler again on Raw, and I have no issues with this whatsoever. So, we get a match between Adam Rose and R-Truth. Rose comes out with the rosebuds, the bunny's wearing a neck brace, and they go into an impromptu dance battle, and Truth rolls up Fandango, and wow, I read the wrong line. Truth rolls up Adam Rose, and that's the end of the match. So yeah, that was it. After the match is over, the bunny gets the ring to check over Adam Rose, and Adam Rose snaps. It's like his LSDs ran out, and he hits his very vicious spine buster and leaves the bunny laying, and then he yells at the Rosebuds, he brushes past them, and he bombs out. I like the heel Adam Rose. I think it's going to work really well, and maybe a transition period for Adam Rose. And going back to the old gimmick of Adam Rose before, in the NXT days when he was Leo Kruger, I think that was a great gimmick, and I'd really like to see them do something like that in WWE. I think it would work pretty well. Only problem is, you don't really have, you have like the sympathizer gimmick already, basically being done with Rusev. I know it's not the same thing for those of you that watch him in NXT, but Kruger was done a somewhat like that, so I would think that I'd like to see something done with Adam Rose. Even as Adam Rose, I want to see him do something as a heel. It's kind of like he just kind of snapped, and now maybe he'll get a push for it. Who knows? Probably not, but you never know. So before he brushed past the Rosebuds, he basically nailed the bunny with a running knee while he was laid across the ring steps. Like he had his back on the ring steps, and Rose just ran in and nailed him with a knee. So that was awesome. I enjoyed that. He rips off the neck brace, he tosses him into the barricade, he shoves the chicken down from the Rosebuds, and he bombs out. So that's exactly what happens. We have a New Day promo because reasons, I guess. And next week, Edge and Christian are hosting Raw, and they did the promotion of this by using Tyler Breeze's theme. Okay. I guess that's the only real mention of NXT we're going to get tonight. Even though, kudos to the announce team for actually bringing up the fact that Seth Rollins was the first ever NXT champion, and Paige and Emma, of course, their history in their feud in NXT, back before both of them got to the main roster. So, we'll get our next match. It is the Big Show and Roman Reigns. I didn't think this was going to be decisive, because obviously this is something you give away on pay-per-view. You give away on a secondary pay-per-view. You don't give this away on free television. And they did in here. Right away, I am starting to realize something that I'm believing myself. Roman Reigns isn't ready for this spot. And I know a lot of people out there are saying that. Well, I've kind of said it earlier than that. I mean, he gets booed now. He's getting the Bautista treatment, and I think it's just a matter of time before a lot of the universe, even the people that are fans of Roman Reigns now, are starting to understand that he can't cut promos no matter all the training he did, all his acting school apparently he went to when he was off. Yeah, did nothing. And he's got the look, but he needs to work on his moveset, obviously, and he needs to learn to work a lot longer match if he's going to be in the main event picture. Now, granted, you can't have your champion or your main challenger to your world champion be somebody that can't work more than 15 minutes. And Roman Reigns at this moment can't work more than 15 minutes in a singles match. So they have to build that up before they're even thinking about pulling the trigger on Roman Reigns. And if they think he needs to win the Royal Rumble, they're dead wrong. Right now, to be totally honest, if I was booking WWE right now, I know this would tick off a lot of you, and it might make a lot of you happy. I would give Dolph Ziggler the win at the Royal Rumble and let Dolph Ziggler wrestle for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. The problem with this is, the only way I can see this happening is you got to get the title off Brock at the Rumble. You have John Cena overcome the Beast at the Royal Rumble, and then after this is over, you have Seth Rollins come in and cash in Money in the Bank, and he beats John Cena, and we have Rollins and Ziggler for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and I have zero issues with that if they go that direction. And Brock, he can either be a secondary attraction, and I know Will would like this, Undertaker can get his win back, and then Brock can go back to the UFC. So, yeah. The special attraction that Brock has been, hasn't really worked out very well. So, we get this match with Roman Reigns and the Big Show. It was something. They were fighting on the floor, and Big Show ends up getting hit with a Superman punch, knocks him over the announce table. Roman gets back in at 7, of course. Big Show can't beat the count, and that's the match. So, count out win for Roman Reigns. Way to make Roman look strong. Dean Ambrose wants Bray Wyatt, and he says every time a bell rings, Bray Wyatt gets a beating. Nice reference there. And I'm honestly surprised, and I'm not just talking about realism, I'm honestly surprised that the lunatic that Dean Ambrose truly is, he didn't just kiss Renee Young on television and get it over with. I know they're not going to reference that actual relationship between the two, but it would fit his gimmick, honestly, and I'm sure they'd like to get paid to kiss on camera, obviously. So, yeah, there's always that. Brie Bella in action against Natalya is up next. A short match. She goes to the sharpshooter, gets countered with a roll-up, and it gets countered back in a roll-up by Natalya, and she gets the 3 off of that. After the match is over, Natalya is knocking Nikki off the ring apron, and Nikki starts to hold her shin, basically, and raises the Divas Championship up in the air, proving that she wants a shot. During the match, Tyson Kidd was at ringside, and he was wearing a Fearless hat, obviously promoting Nikki and the fact that they're friends, so they're utilizing that and more fuel to the fire to the chance that TJ and Natty may break up somewhere down the line. So there's always that. Yay, Total Divas. So the Ascension are officially debuting next week on Raw, so that should be fun. Los Matadores, I'm looking at a squash match on you guys. Hopefully not Slater Gator. I think it's going to be Los Matadores, actually, and I think it's a good idea to do that. Speaking of that, they're in action with Torito against Goldust and Stardust. Stardust sporting the green paint. It's the season, so I guess we're going to call him Grinch Dust now. This match was short, way too much Torito. Torito actually is picked up by Goldust with a body slam. Goldust goes to slam, and he swings and hits Stardust accidentally. Backstabber is nailed on Goldust, and Torito hits a K-Brada moonsault and gets the pin. Yeah, less said about this, the better. Torito dressed up like a reindeer who's like wearing Rudolph antlers and a red nose. I don't care about this match. Luke Harper basically says he likes to take things away, and I really didn't get more than that because, truth be told, we had an Amber Alert on my television for Columbus, Ohio, so yeah, I wasn't able to really hear what Luke Harper had to say. And I learned my lesson, and later on in the night, I actually smartly turned on the closed captioning just in case it happened again. And guess what? It happened again. So, we get our next match, and my god, I love seeing these two in the ring. Their chemistry is phenomenal. Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental Champion, defending against Luke Harper. This match was awesome. Every way possible. I think it was actually a little bit better than the Royal Rumble match because they didn't need any sort of stipulation, didn't need any weapons. They just got over on their own merits. The match starts off really quickly with the second that Lillian Garcia says Ziggler, big boot from Harper, and he ends up hitting the tope. He whips Dolph into the barricade. He goes for a powerbomb. He lands on his feet, and Dolph ends up charging in, gets nailed with the swing side slam on the floor. Dolph says to start the match. The bell rings, and super kick, sit-out powerbomb, 1-2, and Dolph kicks out. So then we go later in the match, and we come back from commercial break, and Dolph fights out of Harper's clutches by stomping his feet. Goes for the reverse neck breaker. Harper tosses him off and catches a drop kick. Dolph's momentum carries him to the floor. Goes for the super kick, gets caught, and Harper with the backdrop into the face buster right across the top of the announce table. Rolls him in 1-2, and the Intercontinental Champion kicks out. So Harper locks in a chin lock. Dolph elbows his way out, starts punching his way out, hits a standing drop kick, charging splash, misses. Harper sees nothing but this, and he goes for a cover, 1-2, Ziggler kicks out. So he goes for a powerbomb, countered sunset flip, 1-2, and Harper kicks out. So he gets mowed over with the big boot, and gets caught, spun around, super kick. Dolph connects, but Harper shrugs it off, and discus lariat almost decapitates Dolph Ziggler, 1-2, and a kick out. Harper readies for the end, goes for the powerbomb, counters Z-Factor, and hits the name dropper finally, 1-2, and the challenger kicks out. So they trade blows on their knees, and I like this finish here. Harper goes for the palm strike, and off the ropes, Dolph goes for the name dropper. Harper counters, going for the sit-out powerbomb. It gets countered, he lands on his feet, and Dolph hits 2 super kicks and a zigzag, and that's all she wrote. So Dolph Ziggler wins in a great title defense over Luke Harper, and a great way to end his 2014 with a bang. Even though he has one more match, obviously this was definitely his year, without a doubt. I think 2015 will be Dolph Ziggler's year without question at this point, and you put Harper and Ziggler in the ring together, you're going to have magic. And for those of you that don't know why I kept putting over Luke Harper and had no idea about anything about his indie background or about his NXT stuff, you would understand real quick that Luke Harper is proving time in and time out in the ring that he belongs as a singles competitor and not necessarily a part of a tag team. Obviously, the matches that Harper had with John Cena, when Cena was feuding with the Wyatt family, I would say were really spectacular, and I really enjoyed this for what it was. So Piper's Pit's up next, and Rusev and Lana are the guests this time around. So Piper's cut off immediately, and Lana starts her spiel. Piper says, "This is America," and Rusev gets up in his face like, "Do you believe I can crush you?" And Piper calls them communist Scrooges. And Piper says, "I got a Christmas gift for you with a bow." And immediately the first thing jumps to my mind is going to be Ryback coming to the ring with a bow. And what happens? Ryback comes to the ring with a bow, which is awesome. So Rusev goes to the floor to try to cut him off. Ryback runs through him. They brawl. Tosses him in. A kick from Rusev, which stomps away. He goes for the Muay Thai kick, gets caught, Ryback with a spine buster. He readies for the meat hook, and Rusev powders, running away to fight another day, and Piper and Ryback celebrate. Enjoyable segment, Piper stirring the pot as he always does. It was nice to see Roddy Piper on the screen, and we're going to get this Ryback-Rusev feud over the United States Championship in 2015. I have a feeling they're going to meet at the Rumble. I think that'll be their first singles match. It's not a holiday season without a Santa's Little Helper match, apparently, and we get a 6 Divas tag match featuring the superstars and former superstars of Total Divas. We have Alicia Fox, Emma, and Naomi taking on Cameron, Summer Rae, and Paige. A lot of really attractive ladies in this match, I'm not gonna lie. Cameron still can't wrestle, even though she steals Jericho's codebreaker at the beginning of the match. Emma looks gorgeous, and I love me some Summer Rae, as everyone knows, and I'm loving Paige rocking the black and white, saying the Bah Humbug hat and the ho 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 in the back of her jacket. I thought that was pretty cool. This match was short, straight and to the point. Alicia Fox ends up going for that leg trap rocker dropper she likes to do, like that side leg trap rocker dropper, and she pins Cameron off of that. So, during the match, the fans were chanting Roman sucks. The crowd was really indifferent tonight. They were all over the place. They were chanting Merry Christmas at one point in the main event, actually, what I'm about to talk about. Miz in action against Jey Uso up next. This match was short, straight to the point, obviously building on the Miz's feud with Jimmy Uso. No Naomi in this match. I have a feeling we're building to that. So this match ends with Jey with the O'Connor roll, gets reversed by the Miz. The tights get hooked, and apparently the Miz pulled too far down because we went to black on USA Network, and I'm guessing we saw a full moon over Minneapolis tonight, and that's the reason why we didn't get a view of the end. Miz and Mizdow, obviously, continuing their shtick. Miz, more of a baby face when it comes to Naomi, but total dirty, rotten heel when it comes to the tag team. Still giving the fans not what they want and letting Damien Sandow get tagged in the ring. And when he got tagged in the ring, obviously he tagged him right back out, and he got him on the ring apron and made him get right back down, which got him booed, of course. Anybody that touches Sandow at this point gets booed. Face or heel, doesn't matter. So, yeah, we're building to this, and I'm thinking of elimination at the Royal Rumble is going to be what implodes this team. And then they do the situation, what happened with Brett and Owen against the Quebecers at the Rumble. I would think that we have a turn, Miz leaves Sandow laying, and that builds up to their WrestleMania match, and that's what gives, like, the Usos tag team titles, or gives the Ascension the tag team titles, something like that. Either way, I think we have new tag team champions by Fastlane at the latest, and we're on the road to the return of Damien Sandow in whatever format you want to bring him out. The intellectual savior of the unwashed masses. Don't think that gimmick works right now. I don't know exactly what the gimmick will be, but Stunt Double No More, Damien Sandow against The Miz at WrestleMania, and I know that's exactly what direction we're going. Miracle on 34th Street Fight is your main event, and Bray comes out. He basically says that people don't live in the real world. In the real world, which is his world, there is suffering, there is evil, and there is sorrow, and he is the king of that world. All you need to do to join him is look to the sky and simply follow the buzzard. So here comes Dean Ambrose to the ring. Of course, he's Nick Caging it tonight. He's got the Singapore cane on his back, and 10-1 says it's candy cane striped, like I'm sure it will be. So we pick it up midway through this match, and they're trading blows, and then they're trading chops. They're really just beating the hell out of each other, to be honest. 2 knockdowns from Dean, and charging forearm Bulldog, and he grabs the Singapore candy cane and a cane shot. Swings. Bray goes for the Uranagi, gets countered. Right hand to the Jawbreaker Lariat. Grabs the cane, starts caning away at the ribs and then the back, and then he hits the White Russian leg sweep. And he puts a chair on Bray's chest, climbs the middle turnbuckle, hits the Cactus Jack hip buster with the chair off the middle buckle, 1-2, and Bray kicks out. So he grabs the ladder from under the ring, and he puts it in the ring, slides it up in the corner, and of course, Bray stops this by going upside down, not crab walking, but he's still Exorcist and up. This allows for Bray to get to his feet, nails the Uranagi on the ladder, on Ambrose. He makes the cover 1-2, and Dean kicks out. So he tosses him into the ladder in the corner, goes for Sister Abigail, gets countered, and Bray gets sent to the ladder, roll up from Ambrose, 1-2, and a kick out. Sets the ladder up in the corner, climbs it up to the top, and he nails Bray with a standing elbow drop, 1-2, and a kick out. So he grabs the chair. He lays 2 of them on Bray. He grabs another chair, climbs up the top of the ladder. Bray gets up and Smash Mouth tosses the chair right in between the eyes of Dean Ambrose. And of course, during the match, at one point, the Singapore candy cane is set up in the corner the same way it was recently in their other matches. And of course, it is set up where it is like jettisoning out of the turnbuckle itself. And Bray ends up throwing Ambrose into that face first, and that's the end of that. 1, 2, 3, Bray Wyatt wins. Match over. Of course, the table was set up, so obviously you got to break it before the night's over. Ambrose comes back with a fire extinguisher, blasts Bray in the face, which coincidentally makes him fall on the table. He climbs to the top, he elbow drops Bray Wyatt through the table, and that's the last scene we get for Raw tonight, with both men laying on the canvas of the ground in pain. So yeah, I enjoyed a couple of things on this Raw. What I would say I would recommend on this show, well, John Cena and Seth Rollins. Really enjoyed the match. Didn't enjoy the finish. I would say that Dolph Ziggler and Luke Harper once again put on match of the night because that's what they do. Dolph likes to steal the show. It's not just a moniker, it's truth. And Luke Harper is doing that every single night as well. I will say that the Bray Wyatt Dean Ambrose match was really good as well. Everything else you could skip. Check out those 3 matches. Skip the rest. Like if you have DVR, if you have TiVo, or if you have any way of skipping matches, or if you just want to watch matches on YouTube or Dailymotion, then watch those 3, skip the rest, and you're good to go. Like, I'm sure Hulu will probably skip a lot of this stuff, too. I don't think they'll skip any of those 3 matches, but there's a couple of matches I'm pretty sure they'll probably skip, so. That was Raw. Like I said, we're still building towards the Royal Rumble. Stagnant shows until we get to 2015, because obviously these last 2 shows, it's the holiday time. Not everybody is able to watch, because obviously we have work and school, and even though most people are out of school by now, and we also have different things, different family obligations that people have. Obviously, they're not going to be able to sit in front of a television for 3 hours on Monday night to watch this, so especially what we've been given lately. So basically, I can understand why they would put something like this on. But kudos to WWE for throwing us 3 solid matches on the show tonight. So yeah, I can say a lot of things about the show, but I will say they delivered 3 solid matches, so that was fine. Even though in one case I thought the wrong person went over. The second one I was right with, and the third one I thought the right person went over. So yeah, Cena beating Seth Rollins doesn't really do anything for either guy. So yeah, that was Raw for this week, and that was your Festivus edition of the Raw recap here on Pop. Next week, join me for more NXT and SmackDown on Monday, and of course, we're going to kick back into the last Raw of 2014 next week, our New Year's edition of Raw. That's going to be coming up on Tuesday. And Wednesday, AJ and myself will be doing a lot of filming. So we got a lot of videos coming to you guys, a lot of movies to be reviewed, a lot of award shows to be bandied about, and a final prediction video for the Oscars to come next week. So I'm very excited for that, when we're going to talk about not the Big 8, but all categories in the Academy Awards, tech included. So that's going to be really fun. So tomorrow, Vlog of Randomness is a special one, and that is something that I actually filmed tonight, and it'll be up tomorrow. The Sip and Snack for Christmas will be very Christmas-oriented. We have a lot of holiday items and a lot of Christmas-themed items. That's going to be coming up. Friday, AJ's Movie Reviews is preempted till Saturday because it's official. We got Big Eyes back, even though we lost it for a couple days. But now it's back, and it will be joining Unbroken, Into the Woods, and The Gambler, as well as possibly something else. So we're going to be seeing that, and we're also going to be talking about Wild, which we watched the other day as well in Athens. So that's what we've got to come. And of course, we're going to be getting Sarge Says from Reunion WWE Today. That's going to be coming up very soon. Brandyverse is coming up Sunday, and that's going to be really fun. And of course, a lot of content still to come on Pop. So stay tuned, and hopefully you guys and girls out there enjoyed this video. If you did, then go to Facebook, click like on our Facebook fan page, it's Sir Owen Disney Pop. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Sir Owen Disney. Or if you'd like to friend request me via Facebook, go right ahead, it's Owen Disney. Last but certainly not least, if you'd like to talk about the disarray of WWE, the rise of NXT, or if you'd like to talk about Disney or Universal, my ideas for Halloween Horror Nights 25, those videos will start very soon too. Once I get some information, I'll shoot out videos. Or if you have questions for me that I can't answer on here for good reason, if you have ideas for Sip and Snack, or Vlog of Randomness, or Versus, or if you have a want to become a popcaster yourself, you can send your content to my email, siroandisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. We obviously had our airing of grievances. Raw was our feats of strength, and apparently this day can't end until someone pins me, so I guess I gotta get that done. So until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I gotta say about that.